What if you're not pregnant? Just purely hypothetical.
I would be very happy. I'm also concerned with my medical, is there something else going on? Because I have heard
that I have stage 4 bladder cancer.
Yo, what's good, internet? Welcome back to Grim. So guys, I know we have talked about some really crazy stuff on this channel before. I mean, I read some of the comments and you guys agree with me there that there are some absolutely just like wacky people out there, but these two that we're about to cover today, whew, guys, they might honestly take the cake. And that's a big statement from me, I know, because this world is full of craziness and I don't think I've ever seen two people more delusional, closed-minded, and biased than these two. Let me tell you what they think and why they're on the show, and you will understand why I'm being so serious about this. These two women are convinced that they are pregnant and claim that they both have been for over a year. I'm being serious. They don't know how or why, but they are certain that they are about to have a child any day now, and they are claiming it to be a cryptic pregnancy. So if you guys are like me, you might not know what that term is, but I looked it up, and by definition, a cryptic pregnancy is when a woman carries a baby to term and delivers it without even recognizing that they are pregnant or knowing the circumstances or finding the symptoms. How that happens, I really don't know, because from what I've seen, pregnancy is like the worst thing to go through ever, but it still does apparently, although very rare. Still though, by definition, what they are experiencing is definitely not a cryptic pregnancy. Anyways, they are super delusional and think that somehow they are pregnant and just haven't had their kid in over a year, which should be a pretty big sign that you aren't pregnant. So the Dr. Phil show pays for them to go and get an actual pregnancy exam, and well, let's see how that goes.
We're at the doctor's office where I'm gonna get my ultrasound and my exam.
Today, I'm gonna take a full history, do a complete physical exam, and do an ultrasound in order to find out if these women are pregnant.
So here is the doctor real quick, who, might I remind you guys before we continue, she had to go to school for over a decade most likely to get her doctorate, and definitely knows what she is doing when it comes to these exams. I'm guessing this is just one of hundreds that she's done in her life. As it's literally what she has devoted her life to doing, she's probably not going to be inaccurate with it. Anyways, let's keep moving.
what I'm hoping to learn today is that one day cryptic pregnancy won't be a mental case. It's real.
So this woman gets all emotional for no reason, which is kind of weird to me, as what she just said doesn't even really make sense. Cryptic pregnancy is not a mental case. It is in fact very real, and we recognize it as real, and women have in fact had it before. I looked it up, and it usually just happens when the symptoms of a pregnancy are like super slight, and it's usually after women are told that they can't have children for one reason or another, so they aren't even expecting it. But yeah, like I said earlier, in these two's case, they're just crazy, so maybe that's why she's about to be shedding tears here, as she knows she's about to get exposed. So they both get an ultrasound done by this professional doctor, right? Like I said, has probably done hundreds of these in her life. And what do you know? There's absolutely nothing in there. Who would have guessed it? Then after some denial, of course, they whip out another tool to detect the child, and after they attempt that is where things get a bit awkward.
But I don't hear it. That's why I'm trying to check.
This lady is very quick to get emotional, but oh my god, how can you still believe that there are children up in there? If you are showing none of the symptoms and get tested by a real doctor on actual TV and none of the tests yield a positive result, I'm trying to think of what else you need as proof that there is no child in you. Anyways, the video makes a weird cut from her crying about the fact that there's definitely babies in there, I got my Doppler and everything, to her perfectly normal, where she drops what I think to be the funniest line in the video.
Sounds
Do you have
good.
any questions for me?
I'm disappointed in the exam, and I don't think you're thorough enough, and that's just my opinion.
I'm disappointed. You were not thorough enough. Even though you are an expert in your field and devoted a rather large chunk of your life to studying and earning your degree for this type of stuff, I don't think you're qualified to tell me if I have a child or not. Yeah, never mind the nearly perfected technology we just use to detect children. That's inaccurate too. I know I got a baby in there. Like seriously, this lady needs to get her head out of the clouds. That should be all the proof you ever need. Why do you want to have a kid so bad? So now it cuts to them with Dr. Phil up on stage, and this doctor is sitting front row in the crowd answering questions. And when Dr. Phil asks her about further tests that they did, she announces that along with the ultrasound and Doppler tests that you guys just saw, she did a blood test, and all of it came back negative. Literally, in all the years of science and technology leading up to this moment now, where we are able to detect even the slightest signs of pregnancy, of course both these women came back with 0% chances of being pregnant. It's comical at this point because you guys know that they're still going to find a way to deny it. The mental hoops that they're having to jump through to stay convinced that they are pregnant, as opposed to just being overweight and having a gut, is kind of mind-blowing. Alright, I'm just going to say it. Look, ladies, I wish I could say I'm pregnant too, okay? Because compared to these two, I look like I'm about due. I'm definitely third trimester. But seriously, it's not possible, and it just makes you seem like a sad person when you resort to some crazy fake story about becoming pregnant all of a sudden for over a year, rather than allowing yourself to say, you know what, I got a gut, and that's that. There's a food baby in there, but that's it. Oh, and this lady is basically laying out the facts to this first woman in the red, Shayna. Apparently, she is like one step away from becoming diabetic, and her blood work would indicate that while she isn't pregnant, she does have some sort of illness that has caused her to gain some weight like she has. Which sucks, but it does a great job of explaining why she might think she became pregnant all of a sudden. But no, she just shuts down the doctor and says that it's inaccurate.
What do you think about what she's saying?
I don't think I'm sorry, but I don't think she did the ultrasound, looked for a baby. I don't think she looked for a baby, just like all the other ultrasounds that I had.
Why would they not look for a baby? Okay, Shayna, it's not like every doctor in the world got into a conference call and was like, yo, this girl Shayna, yeah, she might come to you for an ultrasound, but when you do it, just fake it and try not to find a baby, just in case she has one. I think it'd be funny to mess with her. No, that is not how it works. This lady is not special, and these people, like I said earlier, dedicated large chunks of their life to their career and are qualified and work hard to be thorough and accurate and do it right, okay? As messing up, if you think about it, could cost someone their life. She's honestly such an idiot for even thinking that someone could perform an ultrasound and, quote, not look for a baby.
It was like 2 seconds long.
Well, she's delivered 8,000 babies. It doesn't take her very long to see an empty uterus is the issue.
8,000 babies. Dang, this woman honestly has quite a track record like I thought. That's even more than I imagined. Like I said earlier, I thought it was going to be hundreds, not 8,000. Yeah, lady, if she has delivered 8,000 babies and didn't find one in you, that's not her doing a bad job. That's you being wrong and being naive.
I didn't come on here to get it backfired on me.
What is backfired?
This pregnancy is real.
They're not looking, that's the problem.
I didn't come on the show to have it backfire on me. AKA, I didn't come on this show to be told I'm unhealthy and in fact not pregnant. I came on here so that you in the world could help me continue this fantasy I've built up in my head so that I can continue to live in La La Land with this fake baby that I think I'm gonna have any day now. Real quick guys, before we continue, make sure to subscribe and leave a like right now, as well as hit that bell to join our notification squad so you never miss a video when we upload. If you guys have subbed with notifications on, comment notifications on, and I'll reply to as many of you as I can saying thanks. Honestly guys, I do feel sort of bad for Shayna, as she could just be in denial about her health, and this is her way of coping with that. You know, you never know. But honestly, I gotta give a big screw you to Blue Shirt sitting across from her. Her attitude throughout this video has just been so snobby and annoying. She's been sitting there laughing at everything this professional doctor is saying about the other woman and butting in, antagonizing her and saying, this baby is real, I know it is. Then when she finally talks one too many times and with her snarky attitude, thank God Dr. Phil butts in and says, yo, stop talking please, you're in front of someone that works hard to be good at their job, and she's trying to help Shayna out with, you know, indicating that she's in poor health. Respect that. Of course, as soon as he does that, she finds a way to back down like, you're right, you're right. Seriously, like, what an annoying way to act on this show, or just in general.
What if you're not pregnant?
I would be very happy. I'm also concerned with my medical. You know, is there something else going on? Because I have heard that I have stage 4 bladder cancer.
Wait. Hold up a second. Guys, I gotta pump the brakes on that one. Not only is this crazy lady claiming she's been pregnant for over a year, and will not be told otherwise, she just drops this bombshell on us. Yeah, I've been told I have bladder cancer too, but who knows? I don't have insurance, so I can't go in and check on it. I hope I don't. Like, why wouldn't you get that checked out? And that's just another reason to not believe you if you're just gonna be spreading blatant lies like that. Also, you know she's lying through her teeth when she says later on that she would be happy to find out that she isn't pregnant, as at this point you can tell from just how this woman is acting, you know she has made it to where her whole life revolves around this pregnancy. She's probably in a bunch of Facebook support groups for moms or upcoming moms and attends those mother-to-be training seminars, acting all excited over a baby that's never gonna come. I wonder what her friends and family think of this. They have to know that she's not pregnant at this point when it's been over a year. It is kind of sad, really. You guys have seen it. They have had the most thorough test available done to them already that we have in the medical field when it comes to detecting pregnancies, and absolutely all of them came up false. I really don't know why they chose to appear on the show if they aren't going to be open-minded, and I don't know. As always, guys, let me know what you thought of all this and just this story in general. Maybe some of you are believers, but the facts just don't add up, and you can't deny science. That's what I think, at least. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow for more craziness. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe and like I said. Peace out.